In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to crochet the arched mesh stitch. This is a lovely one row repeat, so it looks the same on the back as it does on the front. It's a really light drapey kind of fabric that you get, and obviously the bigger the hook you use, the more drape you're going to get in your fabric. Hello, my name's Karen Stangram and welcome to Conquer Crochet, the channel for tips, tricks and techniques for conquering your crochet. Everything I talk about in today's video will be linked in the descriptions below. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss a single stitch. So if you're keen to get going with this video, give me a thumbs up and let's do this. So for this tutorial I'm going to be using a double knit yarn. This is a Sheepy's Colour Crafter yarn in double knit. Because it's double knit, I'm going to be using a 4.5mm crochet hook. 4 is the recommended size. I want to go up a little bit bigger to give it a slightly lacier feel, and I have scissors to cut off my ends and my needle for sewing in my ends. Okay, so to begin we're going to start off with a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. And we're going to make a foundation chain, and foundation chain needs to be made in multiples of 4. For this sample I'm going to do 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So pause the video now whilst you make your foundation row in multiples of 4. Okay, so I have my foundation chain in multiples of 24. So we're now going to start row 1. So there's no extra turning chains in this one, it's just the multiples of 4. So we're going to make a double crochet. Now that's UK terminology. In US terminology that would be a single crochet. We're going to make a double crochet in the second chain from the hook. So we don't count the one on the hook. So 1, 2, we're going into that second one. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. We're now going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to miss the next chain. So we're going to skip a chain. In the next chain we're going to do a treble. Again, that's UK terminology. US terminology, that would be a double. So we're going to do a treble, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're then going to chain 2, 1, 2, going to miss a chain, and we're going to double crochet in the next chain. Going to chain 2, 1, 2, going to miss a chain, and we're going to treble in the next chain. And we're just going to do this pattern all the way along. So it's chain 2, skip a chain, double crochet, chain 2, skip a chain, treble. So pause the video now whilst you work your way along the row, and I will see you at the end of this row. So I'm coming up to the end of my row, got 2 chains left, I've just done my double crochet, going to chain 2, and then in that very last chain goes our treble from the repeated pattern. Right, so that's what row 1 should look like. Now row 2 is going to be repeated for the entire pattern. So we need to chain 1. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so we're going to do a double crochet into the top of the last treble that we did, that very first gap. So we do a double crochet in there, and we chain 2. And we go over, we skip over the chain spaces, and we have our double from the previous row, and we're going to treble into that double. Going to chain 2, travel over the chain space, and into the treble we'll do a double. So essentially wherever you see a treble you put a double, wherever you see a double you put a treble, and that will even out the pattern as you go along. So it's chain 2 and treble. Should I go through both parts there? Chain 2 and double. Chain 2 and treble. Chain 2 and double. So work your way down the row and I will meet you at the end of this row to show you how to finish off. So I'm just coming up to the end of my row here, so I'm going to chain 2, I double in the treble, I chain 2, and then I'm going to treble into the double. Okay, so we have our chain 2 here and we have our double stitch here. So I'm going to do a treble into that double stitch there, or double crochet, and that evens off the side for us. And there we have row 2. And row 2 is just repeated. So each time you do it, you're ending the row on a treble and you're going to start it on a double. So chain 1 and turn, double into your treble there, chain 2 and then treble into the double, chain 2, double into the treble, chain 2, treble into the double. So I'm going to work up a few more rows just so you can see how the pattern looks as it grows, and I will see you in a moment. So I've just worked up a few more rows for you to see how it looks. Now this one does feel like it takes more time to grow and you end up doing more rows, but each of the rows is simpler to do than some of the other stitches and uses less yarn, so I guess that's sort of the payoff there. You do get a lovely lacy yarn fabric with this, with a really nice drape to it, especially if you were using a much bigger crochet hook than the one recommended with your yarn. So I only went up half a hook size, but if you'd gone up 2 hook sizes this would really drape beautifully. So a lovely one to do for spring and summer if you're wanting to make just a little wrap just to keep a little bit of the evening chill off. That would be a really nice thing to make a shawl out of. So that's how to do the arched mesh stitch. I really hope you found today's tutorial useful. If there are any information that you need to find out about this video, have a look in the descriptions below where I post all the links to any freebies and other videos I think you might find useful. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed this video, to give me a thumbs up below. Don't forget also to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you've enjoyed it and you'd like to see more of my tutorial videos. There are 2 other videos on screen to help you on your crochet journey, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!